they have brought some of their cattle with them. So part of the problem is we've had to shut the border to Mexican beef because of this disease called the screwworm. So we're not going to let that get into our supply chain.
Yeah. Treasury Secretary
he's
Scott
a soybean
Bessent.
farmer.
Yeah, he would know.
So he would know. It's sort of like rawhide.
Yeah.
Round them up, round them. Yeah,
Did they walk the cows over the border?
Yeah. Don't try to understand them. Just rope them up and brand them.
Okay.
So how many scenes? During the Biden administration, we all got sick of it. You would see somebody coming from Mexico, and they'd have like about 200 head of beef trailing behind them.
Riding a cow.
Right into Juarez. Right into Juarez.
Overwhelming the Border Patrol. Just the cows would come through.
The border is quite porous, obviously.
Well, if you can get 100 cow over at a time. But he's a soybean farmer.
Right.
Don't expect soybean farmers to understand ranching.
He's not a cattle rancher.
Okay.
Obviously not.
But concerned about the screwworm, though.
Aren't we all?
True.
The thing is, though, it really just shows just how unserious these people are. Like,
that was a joke.
You have the Vice President of the United States blaming the housing crisis on illegal immigrants. You have the Treasury Secretary blaming it on, I guess, Hispanic cattle rustlers, so the beef crisis. They're just not serious. What is serious, though, is this: New York Times. You actually have children being left alone without their parents because you have the administration so obsessed on reaching their numbers. And Stephen Miller thinks this is a good idea. Stephen Miller thinks this is a good idea, and Donald Trump lets it happen. Can we zoom in on this picture, please? Donald Trump lets this happen, where children, here's a 2-year-old, are left without their parents because they're trying to meet quotas that we said from the beginning, and we'll say it again. Quotas that will never, ever be met. This is America 2025.
It's that image and that headline why Donald Trump's numbers on immigration are so underwater. This was supposed to be a signature issue. Americans are saying that's too much. Outside, maybe that thrills the hardest core faction of his base.
Yeah.
But we know that the numbers they set out, the millions they want deported, not going to happen. And that though Americans, in 2024 showed this, they want the southern border to be managed better. They want it to be closed. And it is. But that seems to some to be the cruelty of some of these deportations, where it's just your neighbors, your friends, your parishioners at church, the guys on your sports team and their kids, that they're the ones being moved out and parents being deported, leaving their children behind. It's a humanitarian moment and as well as a bad political.
I will say it again.
Different word for it.
I could save you a lot of pain and misery in the administration if you just listen to us. You don't have the money to do this. You don't have the ability to even meet Biden's numbers. Why don't you have the ability? Because so many people came over the border during Biden's presidency, and they were right there at the southern border, so they could round up thousands of people in a day and deport them whenever they wanted to do that. So instead, they're going town to town, city to city. They're busting into schools and grabbing teachers. They're busting into carpool lines, grabbing mothers. This is grotesque. And
asking people if they were born here. Often detaining citizens by mistake.
How many citizens have been detained here? It was front page of the Chicago Tribune this weekend that you actually had, again, more American citizens being detained. It's really, it's staggering. And Americans want a secure southern border. They do not want what they're saying. And we've got David Rode here. David, I think one of the most remarkable things I've seen in American politics coming from clergy, probably the most since Jerry Falwell decided to get involved in politics in 78, 79, and I'm not comparing the two here. One of the most remarkable things I've seen is Pope Leo, Catholic bishops, Catholic priests doing something unbelievably radical. I'm sure the White House thinks this is radical. Republicans, they are quoting Jesus Christ. And they are quoting Jesus Christ from the pulpit, and they are showing how un-Christ-like these ICE raids are, where they're ripping children from their mothers' hands. They are going into schools. They are tearing teachers out. I mean, this is the Catholic bishops and Pope Leo. This is a game changer. I know people outside the faith community may not understand this, but this is a game changer. And Pope Leo saying, oh, really? You call yourself pro-life just because you're against abortion, but you support this inhumane treatment of immigrants? No. Those two don't square up.
There's the ethics of it, and then there's also a genuine national security challenge and danger here. There was a separate Times story this weekend about the Department of Homeland Security being completely transformed and becoming, in essence, the Department of Deportation. And there's been a huge drop in sex trafficking investigations, child exploitation investigations. It's 33% lower so far this year than it has been in past years. The FBI has the same problem. Agents are shifted over to these investigations of immigration cases. So it's a tremendous change. And this is the department that was set up after 9/11 to protect the country.
This is yesterday's New York Times lead story about it.
Yeah.
All of these people that ran around going, oh, sex trafficking, oh, only Donald Trump can stop sex, oh, Tom Hanks and Oprah Winfrey and all these other people are child predators. They are literally, this story shows that they will be getting phone calls from people saying, hotel owners saying, sex trafficking is happening out of my hotel. And they go, we're sorry. Our agents have been reassigned. They can't help you. There are girls that have been missing because of sexual abuse. And they've said, Mika, they can't help because they're trying to reach a quota they will never reach. So human trafficking, sex trafficking, out the window.
Right.
Out the window.
So speaking of trafficking, we're going to get right back to this because there is, of course, the Christian answer to Trump that we're looking at as well. But the Epstein files are creating a rift between Trump and even his most loyal supporters. We're going to look into that.